Welcome to Combat Recap. In the main event of UFC 277 on July 30th, 2022, Amanda Nunes defeated Julianna Pena by unanimous decision after 5 rounds to reclaim the women's bantamweight title that she had previously lost. Amanda Nunes made a number of significant adjustments since she lost to Peña 7 months ago after Julianna Pena won the bantamweight belt by defeating her in an unexpected bout for the championship. She stopped going to the American Top Team gym where she had been training for a significant amount of time and relocated to a private facility that she calls Lioness Studio, where she now works out with Roger Krahl. He was in her corner for many of her most important fights, including the one in which she defeated Ronda Rousey via knockout. Nunes was able to regain the UFC bantamweight title on Saturday night at the American Airlines Center in Dallas as a direct result of the moves she made earlier in the fight. She was defeated by Peña in December, but won the belt back at UFC 277 with a unanimous decision and earned a place in mixed martial arts history. Nunes remarked afterward as she held her young daughter in the ring, "The Lions, if they don't get the prey the first time, I set the traps better, and I know I'd get it the second time." With 15 victories in the UFC, Nunes has the 5th most overall and the most victories among women with 10. She also won her 10th title match. As Peña fought against Nunes' switch to a southpaw posture with the right hand and foot forward, followed by right jabs that were followed by a left cross, right hook, Nunes left Peña bleeding profusely. The secret, according to her, was that in addition to her martial arts skills was her wrestling style in later rounds. The biggest factor, according to Nunes, was my southpaw. I knew I was going to get her tonight with that. I was aware that she wouldn't be able to adapt to that. She doesn't strike. She was very baffled. I still struggle with my southpaw. I informed my coach that I would wait to see how I felt. Tonight, I tried and it felt fantastic. In the early going, Nunes, 22-5 in MMA and 15-2 in the UFC, repeatedly downed Peña using the posturing up before bringing Peña down with her wrestling techniques. According to ESPN Stats and Information, she took Peña to the ground 3 times in the second round, setting a UFC women's record for takedowns in a round. She had an 85-60 advantage in decisive strikes against Peña and had 6 takedowns in 8 attempts. "Double champ again, baby," Nunes yelled to the crowd after the fight. "This is the best day ever." Saturday's fight was the first title defense for Peña, who is 12-5 in the 135-pound division. Nunes dropped Peña 3 times in the second round, twice with right hooks and then with a left to the forehead. Nunes took down Peña midway through the 3rd round and kept her on the mat, punching to the head to open cuts along Peña's hairline that left blood splattered on the mat. Nunes had Peña on her back again for much of the 4th and 5th rounds. Peña's face was streaked with blood that stained much of the mat. "I could have finished her, but I wanted to go 5 rounds with her tonight to prove I was better than her," said Nunes, her right eye swollen nearly shut, using crutches to reach the interview session. "I could have gone 6, 7 rounds." According to UFC President Dana White, Peña left the bout to go to the hospital for treatment of facial cuts. In the UFC 277 post-fight press conference, Dana White said, "Julianna's got a big chunk missing from her forehead. She is currently scheduled to see a plastic surgeon after she recovers. She was seriously injured tonight. In the first 2 rounds, there were around 5 or 6 knockdowns. She was wounded. We'll continue once she takes some time off, relaxes, and spends time with her daughter." Nunes became the first UFC bantamweight champion to win it back after losing it, but it cost her. She used crutches to get to the post-fight news conference since her right eye was almost completely shut with swelling. Dana White remarked, "I thought it was completely overpowering. In the first 2 rounds, there were 5 knockdowns. There is a significant distinction between knockdowns and efforts at submission. They aren't even similar. Julianna is tough as nails and has an unmatched will to triumph. She aimed to triumph. I didn't believe it was close in any way, shape, or form, especially given how dominant Amanda was today. A complete shutout occurred." The coronavirus pandemic has prevented Nunes from seeing her Brazilian relatives in recent years, but she still considers today the finest day ever. She also said that the best thing I did was make my gym. I believe I am secure at my gym. I believe that I can develop and evolve. Let's now review her career in general. At Prime MMA Championship 2 on March 8, 2008, Nunes made her professional debut. In the opening round, she met Anna Maria and was beaten by armbar submission. Before making her Strikeforce debut on January 7, 2011, at Strikeforce Challengers Woodley vs. Safadine in Nashville, Texas, Nunes had won 5 straight fights, all by knockout. Julia Budd, a Canadian, was knocked out in just 14 seconds by her. In her UFC debut versus Sheila Gaff, Nunes earned $12,000 according to the Sports Daily. Nunes received $15,000 for losing to Kat Zingano in 2014. In 2015, Nunes earned $180,000 after defeating Miesha Tate to win the UFC Bantamweight Championship. A few months later, Nunes earned $290,000 against Ronda Rousey. In 2018, Nunes defeated Chris Cyborg to win the UFC Featherweight Championship, earning her $440,000. Nunes earned $442,000 for the loss to Julianna Pena in her most recent match. What's your thought about Amanda Nunes' career and her last fight at UFC 277? Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe to Combat Recapped and hit the notification bell to be notified of future videos. Thanks for watching Combat Recapped. See you on the next video.